Good morning. Two things. One, Darla, one of my crochet students, came back from Victoria, Canada, where she was on vacay, and she got me the coolest, well, she got me and the other two ladies in the class the coolest cross stitch patterns. Yeah, my nails were still not done. And kitted them up. It's very exciting. And number two is I have to do alterations for someone this morning, and I thought y'all would be interested to see, even though it's really basic. But it also translates into if you have, I mean, you could hand do it, of course, but if you have even just a basic sewing machine, you can do your own alterations. So here's what we got. That light is really a lot. Okay, here's what we're working with for Miss Emily. She got this super cute J. Crew set. It's a skirt and top, but it's way too long. Like she has to tuck in, which that's how they styled it originally. But she has to tuck it in like a lot. So she wants it cropped, not cropped to show like midriff, but just cropped to set at the top of the waistband of the skirt. So she came to the shop and tried it on. And what I have marked is the cutting line, and then I'm going to hem it an inch. So I'm just folding it in half because that makes it less work. And I'll flip the camera so you can see. Okay, and I don't have the task lights on. Well, I can turn it on just because they're crazy bright. So what I'm going to do is just right above this button, cut straight across. And my other tripod is at home. I don't even have a way. Okay, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then I'll show you after. So I'll just lay this down, and then I'm going to do a clean cut with a rotary. But you could also just mark this line, friction pen, which erases with heat, chalk marker, draw you a line, and then just cut with regular scissors. Okay, I just thought I would go in and show you. So with this orange friction pen, because it's close to the yellow, you can see I've just done little tick marks all the way to the end. And then you can just cut with regular scissors. You can do as many as you need. Okay, there we go. It is apart. If you need to cut below a button in an instance like this, you'll just need to cut the button off so it doesn't get in the way when you hem it up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is serge the bottom edge. If you do not have a serger, you can just zigzag the edge, or you could turn it under twice. Okay, you can see I've serged the edge just right off both ends, and now I'm going to go press it up an inch. Now, so first, this, here's the OG. This is what I've used my whole life, like 40 years, is the Easy Hem. And you would just put it here. Oh, wrong side, sorry. You just put it here, turn up your hem. It has the inch marks here. Turn up your hem and then press it on the metal. And the metal gives you a really nice, crisp hem. Problem is, if you're using steam, it condenses on the metal and you end up with a watery mess. Sarah Hartz introduced Danny, who then introduced me this year, actually, to this, which is the same concept, except it's felt, so it absorbs the moisture, which is great. So you just do this and then hit it with your iron and it'll crisp it up. And you can, hopefully, you can see where I pressed. So if you don't have a serger or you don't want to finish the edge, what you would do is just whatever, like if you're doing an inch hem, you'll roll or press it a quarter of an inch and then the rest of it, or you could cut it in half, press it up a half an inch and then roll it up another half an inch. But I'm just finishing the edges, takes out all that. This is a really lightweight garment, so it's not a big deal. Also, if any of you are beginner sewers, the instinct when you sew is to put the seam on top so you can see what's happening. But here's the problem with that in this case. Because this was like an A-line shirt, the bottom was wider, like it makes a A shape. So this edge is a little bit longer than this edge. So when you turn it up, we're going to need to ease that extra fabric in. See how it's just a little bigger. So the feed dogs, which are these little teeth that kind of pull your fabric through from the bottom, that makes whatever is touching those feed in at a slightly faster rate than the fabric that's on top. So ideally, you would put this edge that you want to look at on, you flip it and sew from the top, because you need those feed dogs to chew in that extra bit of ease. And it seems scary. It is not scary. You can just go slow. If you need extra support, like can you see? Yeah. We'll clip the seams to make sure that they stay together. And this should give you an example of the, like, see how this is, that gap is because the bottom edge is larger. Just because I want the seams to line up. So, and I wouldn't do this normally. So normally when I'm sewing, I just put my finger down and hold it, and that'll keep it secure. But when you're first starting, especially if you're not comfortable with your machine, it can be scary. You think you're gonna sew your finger. Also, I personally don't know anyone who's ever sewn their finger, because you would literally have to get your finger, maybe it's just because I have fat fingers. Like, it's not possible. You could hit, like, any of these moving parts could hit your finger, but you know, that's not, it would just give you like a jump scare. It wouldn't actually hurt you. So you could put that fear to bed, unless you have really, really, really flat, skinny fingers, and then I guess it could be an issue. So you can do this, and then I'm going to put that extra on the bottom. And I've got white thread because y'all know I don't have, like, I sew with bright. I sew with bright colors. I'm going to see how I feel about the white thread. I think it'll be fine. So I did not have any, like, buttery yellow. I only have a highlighter yellow. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just put tension. I'm not going to pull against the feed dogs. I didn't mean to go into a whole lesson on this, I swear to God. Just putting tension so that it'll pull that extra ease through on the bottom. The white is fine. Also, another common mistake when I'm teaching people to sew, I don't know, it's kind of bright. I wonder if the yellow wouldn't be better. Just the, I've got a mustard yellow. I never do alterations anymore, because you're probably thinking, well, yeah, see, that's better probably. Okay, so now we're going to take what I've just sewn out. When I did this a lot, I had a wider variety of thread, but now I only have threads that I like. Okay, hold. Okay, I don't know if I like the yellow any better. I feel like it's exactly the same as the white in the other direction, but we're going with it. This one, I'll sew slow so it doesn't vibrate the phone, hopefully. But you can see I just keep the slight tension, white threads. Just take the clips out as I come to them. And I'm using the marker on my sewing machine. You could also, if your sewing machine doesn't have a marker, put washi tape or scotch tape, something down, masking tape, to mark it for you. also like to say this is a very hormonal morning for me. And I have put on, it's also supposed to be 90 degrees and humid. So I wanted simple jean shorts, t-shirt, and finally landed on this, the recess t-shirt. Except it feels like it's got polyester in there. It feels like it's going to be hot. So after I do this, I will be going back upstairs to change clothes for the 100th time this morning. I'm seriously tempted to just put on a muumuu and wear it to work. I'm sure Dan would embrace this, but I don't know if I could go that far. But it would certainly be comfortable. Ooh, have y'all heard that song, Mexico Honey? It's my new favorite singy song. Choosing Texas by Ella Langley was my favorite singy song, but now it's that. Okay, now I'm going to go do an after press. And we're done. I just need to trim the threads, but you can see, I think the yellow was a good choice. So I'll pack that up, and then I'm going to go upstairs and change clothes again. See if we can't get this hormonal wardrobe under control. I just say hi, Amy.
Hi.
This is Amy. We just went to Beardo because they have berry chantilly cake. Hee hee. It's as big as our head. So, me and Amy yesterday at work why were we on? Oh, because I don't have any with me. I have my favorite just white cardstock floss drops that I think all local needlework shops have, but I can't find them online like I would like to have just in bulk. Can't find them. I ordered these thinking they were the same thing but in different colors, but they're not. These things are paper thin. This is like just copy paper. So that, I mean, it's fine, but you have to be super careful when you're pulling your strands off. So I knew that Sassy Jacks had them, which is my LNS, but her hours are like the same as the yarn shop's hours, so I can never get over here, literally. And she opens at 10. So if I have students in the morning, then it's definitely like no way I can do it. But this morning I don't. So this is Friday morning. And so I was like, I'm going to stop. So I got on Sassy Jack's website to see if I could see the brand. So then I could look for the brand specifically online. But Sassy Jacks didn't have them on their website. So hopefully they have them in store. I don't know. But also the only places that I could find the brand, I found it on another LNS website. The only place that I could find the brand, and I can't remember what the brand name is right now, is on other LNS websites, which is great for the local shops. No problems there. It's just that only 20 or 30 come in a pack, and I would like 200. Because you know how I love to start new projects. So, while we were on Sassy Jack's website, we saw the Queenie floss drops, the bees, and you know Amy and her beekeeping. So she lost her shit. And so I'm picking her up that set. I think it's just 8 or 10, but it's so cute because the bee's wings, there's 2 loops, which are the bee's wings. So each bee holds 2 flosses. I'm getting her that. Oh, and it also comes with a ring. And then hopefully they actually have the floss drops I'm looking for. They also had acrylic pigs that I wanted, so I'm going to see if that. I need to get some petite needles if they have petite needles, because I'm on my last one. They wear out pretty quickly as far as like because of the needle threader, because I have to use a needle threader, I can't see. So I'm going to look for the pigs, the needles, and if they have any finishing templates, then that would be great also. It's supposed to get up to 90 degrees. It's 80 already. I'm very hot. There was no point in me putting heat on my hair today because it's not as humid today though as it was yesterday, but it'll curl right up. If you know, you know. Like, it'll start here. It's already started a little. And then all of this work I put in, although I didn't put as much in as I normally would. Okay, so I got here like 10 minutes early. There was no traffic, which is surprising on a Friday. So I just gotta wait for a little while for her to open at 10. And then I'll go in. I'll show some little clips as I can. I don't like to just be obnoxious with it, so we'll see. I also have on my Hootin' Leads to Hollerin' t-shirt that Jason got me for Christmas 2 years ago, which I love. Okay, I did not film at all while I was in there because they had 2 big tourist groups in. One was from Texas. I don't know where the other one was, but here's what I got. I'm trying out some new needles. This is the shop owner's favorite needle, so I'm trying those out. I got 2 sets of mat boards, circle and square, just to have. They were out of the white floss drops that I wanted, but I got my piggies. Oh my God, they're so cute. And then they did have Amy's bees. So Amy will be super excited. Okay, well, I am headed to the shop. If y'all didn't know, Sassy Jack's on Thursday nights has Stitcher's night. And so they're here. It's until 8. I'm not sure what time it starts. You can probably come anytime. And they also have a Zoom Stitcher's night on Tuesday nights. So just to let y'all know, if you're local, or if not, you know, the Zoom will work. Okay, it's 150 degrees. People are coming in. I got to get out before I get blocked in. Hey, okay, so I showed you what we got at Sassy Jack's. Amy loves the bees. Of course, I love my pigs. They're over there in the bag. And she's going to pick out a bee project to do it with. So we just had a lull. We've been super busy this morning. We just had a lull, so we're stitching. I'm working on the Pride sampler for the guys, and Amy's working on the Be Kind. And the colors are so good. Mm-hmm. We're both very excited. And this is your first cross stitch. She's done one needle point, but this is like the first cross stitch. So she's hooked now also. Also, that big project that I can't tell y'all about is there. That's all. These are the needles that the owner of Sassy Jack's is her favorite needles, and so I got a pack to try, and I love them. Amy also loves them. This is like this is our needle. It's official.
What are you working on?
I'm working on the Riggy's Vest by Gudrun. I actually have finished the first quadrant.
Oh, she's so pretty.
I know, I can't wait to wear it. Also, Amy's going to show y'all what the finished vest looks like in ugly colors. Just kidding. In Danny's colors.
Here it is.
Good morning. Happy June weekend 2. I just woke up and I have laundry to fold from last night. We'll see if I do it. And I'm watching FlossTube. Today that's winter clothes that I've got to find somewhere to put. I live in a very small apartment, if you can't tell. And I also have a lot of stuff. Much less than I had when I lived in my house, but still really too much for the apartment. Anyway, it's I get my nails done day, hooray! But also Sam is on vacation. He's in Vietnam. Boo. so Sam has been doing my nails for 18 years. Like I've watched his kids grow up. He feels like family to me. But and he can do anything, any design that you can come up with or that you see online. He can do. Like I don't like decals. I like my nails to be hand painted. Oh my god, look at this chart. How cute is that? So the only times that my nails have not been done by Sam was he didn't come back right after the shutdown, the COVID shutdown. He and I went back to work, so I needed my nails done. And I tried probably, I don't even know, but I feel like actually did Cass go somewhere else? I can't remember. I feel like Cass held out, but I was like, no, I got to get my nails done. And so I tried several different places and they were all crap. And then I was like, well, I guess I'm just not getting my nails done anymore. So I went, I feel like it was like a year or two without getting them done. And then I was at work one day and he texted me and was like, he's back. And what was happening was he was back. So he had always worked the whole time that he's done my nails for a salon. And then he bought a salon. He bought a building and started his own business. So I was very excited. He let me come before he even opened the shop. That was like his very, very first customer. And now here we are. And I'm going to, like, I didn't even make an appointment. I'm just going to walk in and see how the vibes feel. And I'm just getting a plain. I'm not even trying to do anything fancy. I'm going to get a plain. I was actually thinking, so Tatum is a needle pointer that I follow. She had the coolest like blue. She always just does solid colors, but she did a really cool blue for the grand opening of Penny Lynn's New York store, and I really like it. And blue is not my jam normally, so I'm thinking I might see what shades of blue they have. If not, then I'll just do a red or pink. Sam's supposed to be back around the 20th, so we will be back. Guess what I finished last night? We got into town, grabbed some breakfast, then immediately ran over to the shop. So excited, and I knew that. Okay, so also what I needed when I got in there was fabric. I don't realize how loud the TV is until, or that is to say, I don't realize how old I am until I try to talk over the television. Okay, so this pattern I found on Pinterest and I couldn't find like a designer or paid for version or anything. They just had this picture. And so I tried to find before I started it because of course I would buy it. And last night after I finished, I was like, well, I gotta shout whoever out. So I went on the hunt again, and it turns out that this was an IKEA pillow that I guess someone just charted off of the IKEA pillow, which I know someone still designed it, and it wasn't actually stitched, it was printed on the IKEA pillow, and someone charted it for cross stitch or needlepoint. So I guess, I mean, I'm not going to shout out IKEA, but anyway, I assumed, so it didn't have any like stitch count or size, measurements on it or anything. So I figured I would have a lot of fabric left, and I do, which makes me happy. So I'm going to, after I get my nails done, what time is it? After I get my nails done, I'm going to hit Goodwill. What is near there? I guess we'll go Goodwill first, and if Goodwill doesn't have anything, then I'll stop by Dollar General because they always have frames. I don't know if I want like a traditional frame since this is so not traditional as like a juxtaposition, or if I want to get a fun, funky frame I don't know. We'll see. What I'm going to use the top half of this for is I'm going to start, there's a chart and it says, does it say fucking hamburger help me? I think. So it's just a play off hamburger helper. I'm assuming everybody knows what hamburger helper is. When when I was growing up, my mom used to make some every once in a while. So I grew up on a farm, and most of the time we ate, homegrown, because we had several gardens, the meat, all that stuff. But as my parents aged, so they were 55 when I was born, 55 and 56. I was adopted, obviously. But as they got older, mom, they eventually had to sell the animals and the equipment and yada yada, a little before, like, I got married and stuff. Anyway, so every once in a while we would have hamburger helper. And then when I was raising my kids as a single mom, we had hamburger helper a lot. So cheeseburger macaroni specifically is very nostalgic for me. And Jiffy muffins, don't judge. So someone charted this cross stitch pattern that says fucking hamburger help me, I think is what it says. And it's in this frosting. I'll insert a picture. It's in a frosting frame. So I found the frame on Etsy and I'm going to stitch it because I want it on my gallery wall. I think it's so cute. And to celebrate finishing that one, I started something else. It's really small. So in June, the cross stitch community does Strawberry Moon. Like, lots of strawberry patterns drop. People stitch on strawberries all June. Strawberries are my favorite thing year round. And Cam, she's Cam the Stitcher on YouTube. I will link below everything that I talk about. But I'll also post a picture. I started, what's it called? My sweet thing? My sweets? Maybe that's it. My sweets. And this is on 18 count, one strand. And this is fabric that I dyed when we did our ice dyeing. So I got 2 little strawberries on the side and started the top of the main strawberry. And it's in my strawberry hand towel bag. Not a lot of colors. It'll be quick. I'm doing my own colors. Hers is a more like subdued vintagey, but I wanted a bright strawberry situation. So that's what we're doing. So I showed you this on the last video. I only had, well, actually, I think I showed y'all the finished piece, which is this one. So it's this side of the riggies. And I only had 2, maybe 4 rows. I dropped a stitch. On this will be the back left. But yesterday during Knit in Public Day, I sat outside with Josh and the different people that came to knit. And I got all the way to the neck split. And this pink section I actually posted on Instagram because it's so beautiful. And I wanted it to have a moment. So, lots of progress on that. Okay, our nails are done. I ended up over at DT, which is where Sam worked before. Like, his family is over here. And Christy, she's the owner, she did my nails. So I got a little simple tomato polish. She cleaned me up. Also, it was so cheap. It was so quick and so cheap because I'm used to getting all the bells and whistles. So it was nice to have it take less time and be $50. Oh. So now we are off to Goodwill first to see about frames for my finished cross stitch. Okay, we're back. We have our little basic bitch nails. But I'm just happy to not be ratchet anymore. So and Sam will be back a couple weeks. So happy about that. I just want to show you what I picked up at Goodwill, shopping for frames. So I only looked through the extra large section to look at t-shirts for myself, not to make stuff. Also, Goodwill's prices have gone up so much that I've, it'd have to be a great shirt, which I saw when I was walking out the door. There was a girl that had 2 shirts and she was going to get a buggy, and it was a super cool Crash Bandicoot t-shirt, and I would have paid $10 or $20 for it. So she scored. So I got me the Compton Cowboys t-shirt. I'm a big fan. And I also got me a vintage Champion t-shirt. You can tell it's vintage by the feel, because like this is before they started making it with the polyester. Excited about that. It's a pretty shade of pink. And to make a bag out of, I found another Bucky shirt that's cute. It's gray and it has an old truck like the one they have in Bucky's. So I got those 3 shirts. So that was good. And then I kind of hit the jackpot on frames. I don't know if any of them will fit Josh and Donnie's gift, but I got all of these to have for other like finishes. So these are 2 New Orleans. It's Bourbon Street and the French Quarter little artworks. So I already got the frame and the mat, $3 each. So that was a really good find. This is just a Home Goods frame, but I loved it. Actually, I don't know. I was thinking about my gallery wall when I got it because it would be cool, but this also might be really good for Josh and Donnie. This was only $4. It was $10 at Home Goods. This one, it's old school. Look at the picture. It was only $1. And it also has the easel, which I love because I don't want to hang everything. I got this one. These are all like super good for cross stitch or needlepoint. And this one for $2, which also has the easel back. Also, if you're giving it as a gift, it's nice to have the easel back because who knows how they're going to want to display it. Okay, that's all I got at Goodwill. And then I stopped at Dollar General. Oh, she really wrapped me up. I was not stopping for this, but Dolly Parton has a little home line at Dollar General now, and this measuring cup was too much for me to not get. So I got that. And what I actually stopped in there for were these acrylic containers, because I'm going to start organizing my yarn shelf. Oh, I don't know. If you're not around me, you wouldn't know that I even had this. Ramon bought it for me. He used to buy me Coach everything. But it's a Pac-Man Coach wallet. But anyway, I'm going to organize my yarn shelves, and these are for minis. So these are just $6. These are the biggest one my Dollar General has, but I feel like they had bigger ones, like a size bigger, which is what I would need for the actual like 100 gram skeins. But they're only $6. So if you're trying to organize something, actually, these would fit great under here. Huh. We might have to. Look at that. Perfect. I have shelves under my coffee table, which is great if you're a crafter. But these fit perfect. Okay, so that's all. Well, and then I went to the grocery store and got, just junk that I needed and ingredients to make naan pizzas. I don't know if you've ever made naan pizzas, but they're amazing. So that's it. I'm going to put the groceries away and then we'll hit the sewing room. Okay. So I am now cooking and sorting my minis into the little acrylic trays that I got. I have also discovered, because I went ahead and started the short rows on the riggies on this panel, that the other panel, I put the short rows on the wrong side. It's supposed to be shoulder shaping, and I put mine at the bottom thinking that it V'd up. So I'll be redoing the first panel. Anyway, here's what I've discovered. I've discovered that I have way more not my colors than I do my colors. And the way I determined was, if I picked up a mini skein and was like, I would buy this now, then then I put it in my colors. And if not, then it went into the others. So this is others, that's others, and this is the Renee. You can see. And the way this happens is, you know, buying Advents and whatnot. Because, you know, it's not all crazy colors unless you get Lindsay's from Sprinkled Fibers, and then it's all, which is why I love her yarn so much. So I also have these minis. So this is from Sprinkled Fibers last year, my sweater. Then I've got these, which is Fiber Genies from last year. I need to take these stitch markers off and start using them, but I wanted to keep it with the yarn. Castle View yarns from a couple of years ago. This was, I think, maybe Cake Palooza, Sprinkled Fibers, beautiful. And then Candy Shop Yarns, and she doesn't do these anymore. And I'll probably never use them, I'll just keep them in these little, because the little containers are so cute. But I'll just show you, maybe show you these two. Aren't they adorable? So those stay in there. And then I've got this set, the Easter set from Buku Yarn. So this was during the shutdown. Look at the cute little stitch markers. But I didn't want to take that one out of the box. I did take the Valentine ones out of the box, and I regretted it because it was so cute. I mean, it's still so cute, but it's cuter with the yarn in there. Is that all the minis? I think that's all the minis I have laying around. But, so, that's what we have. But, I mean, I'll still use the, like, neutral minis and the blues and the greens, of course, but it's not my first pull-to. I wish someone would do a Renee Advent. And not me, so don't comment that. I wish someone else would. I forgot about these. These were the Labubu minis from Super Glow Fiber from Flock last year. Nicole picked these up for me because she's a rock star. And then these are the Sprinkled Fibers Valentine's Kit. It's Conversation Hearts from last Valentine's Day. Minis are my favorite things. Okay, that's much better. Now there won't be such an avalanche on the mini side. Here's what I was able to get out of the cuts. I was able to get, so this is like a cowl sized bag. There's the lining. A little wallet, lining, a pencil / hook / needle case. Oh, lining, another wallet, lining. This is a sock size, the lining. And then I was able to get 2 sweater size bags. This is one. And 2. Very cute. Very happy with myself. I will, as always, put them on Instagram first before they go to Etsy. I don't know what time it is. It's dark and it sounds like it's raining. Why am I always yawning when I'm on here? Because I've been sitting still for 3 hours sewing, I guess. Anyway, I normally watch YouTube when I sew. Danny texted and said that I have to watch Maternal Instincts on Netflix. So I was like, okay. Oh my God. I had to stop sewing because, oh my God. You'll have to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a true crime doc. It's insane. It takes place in Texas. So that I had to stop what I was doing to watch that after, like, it's jaw-dropping from pretty much start to finish. So now I'm going to go sit and stitch for a while. I'm going to make me a cup of tea and stitch, and I'm going to rewatch it. It's only the one episode, like it's just, and I don't know how long it was, an hour or a half. I don't know. I don't know because I was in a state of shock the whole thing. So I I don't even know what to say about it. I don't want to give away anything though. And some of you may know the actual like story, like you may have seen it on the news. But it's crazy. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4 bags and 3 notions pouches. And I'm ready to go relax. Well, hi. So today, for the entire day, I have been working on the big project. I stayed focused. I did take a break every once in a while to work on the strawberry moon. I started and finished a small little stitch. So cute. And I'm fixing to turn it into a notions pouch for myself. So I have like 16% battery left because I have been watching stuff on my phone while I worked on the big project. So hopefully I have enough battery to even record it. Fingers crossed. I'm going to turn it into a wallet. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut out the front, which that's going to be, and I want the design to be in the lower right hand corner. So I'm just going to lay my template and cut around it. Okay, I have my project. 2 pieces of quilt batting the same size. 2 pieces for the lining. And then this is the back. And the only other thing I need is a zipper. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put my tag onto the back. I don't want to put it onto the front because I just want the design on the front. The next thing that happens is, and I'm getting rid of one of my old vintage zippers since this is for me, is on the back I'm going to put the zipper face down and then get a lining piece and set it right on top, and then I'm just going to sew directly across the top. And then we'll just fold the lining piece over, and you can see the zipper sandwiched. So if you're not confident right here, you can press. I just iron it, hold it down and iron it. And you flip it and then top stitch across the front. This keeps the lining from getting caught up in your zipper. And of course, you can use matching thread. I like coordinating thread because I like the stitching to show. Now what we're going to do, it's always right sides together, so we're going to put the stitch finish right sides down on top of this, and then I'll flip it over and take the other lining piece and put it. So we've got lining piece to lining piece and front to back. And now I'll just sew across the top just like we did before. Then I'll have the right sides together, the lining pieces together, and we're going to leave a spot that wide for opening. I'm just going to stitch all the way around. I've turned it right sides out. And now I'm just going to sew the hole up that we turned it through. And then after you've done that, clip your threads and tuck the inside to the inside. Get your point turner if you need to. Poke the corners in. Oh, I got a stray thread. And then there it is. Cute little notions pouch or wallet with your little zipper. How cute is it? I love it. A little change purse. I need to get the corners stuck down in there good. I was rushing. I'm on 1%. I was rushing filming the reel. We'll see if it actually filmed. Because I think in my rushing, I forgot to hit record a couple of times. So we'll see how she goes. But that's it. It's so cute. I love it. I've just realized that I never wrapped up this vlog. Work was super busy. Alexa, pause. Work was super busy, and I just got straight in. So Danny doesn't have childcare this week. So I just went in like flaming. And so I hope y'all have a great week. I've already started recording vlogs for the other. I will say, I have on my knitter t-shirt by Gabby, handmade by Gib, on Instagram and YouTube. She has, I got the black with the white letters. She also has white with black letters. And I can't remember if I showed this, but there's the crocheter sticker. She's also in the process of doing other needle crafts. Do I have my tablet? If I have my tablet, I can show you. I don't. I left it at the shop. There's also a knitter sticker. I don't think I have one on my planner. My knitter sticker's on my tablet. I'll shoot. Anyway, super cute design. She sells out like almost immediately every time. So you have to watch her Instagram. But I love it. I think it's super cute. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.